Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome everyone to IE 206 Engineering Economy. This is chapter 1 today, inshallah. We will start our journey today with this course, and inshallah it will be fruitful semester and you enjoy the course. We have talked about the course in general, about the syllabus, about the material resource where you can find them on the last lecture. I hope you go and review the last lecture and ask your colleagues about the things that we have talked if you were absent. And today, inshallah, we will start on the chapter 1, which is the foundation of the engineering economy, or the basic of the engineering economy. We have talked last time that the engineers design, and this is the special criteria or characteristics in the engineers in general, that they design, not only just solve problems. And in design, you need to have economical factor consideration in the design, because you will have alternative designs usually to solve any problem. Starting from establishing a road, highway, or designing a vehicle, or designing a road, or designing a machine, or even designing a process or service. You will have alternatives, and one of the things that you may use in comparing the alternatives is the economical factor. That's why engineering economy is important for engineers. This slide explains to you some, not to say all, but some of the most needs for the engineering economy regarding to the engineering field. Understanding and applying time value of money, we have talked about that last time. Real today compared to 20 or 30 years ago, it is different in terms of the value, even though it is 1 real. And also today, 1 real compared to 30 years in the future, it will be a different. The proper or the good economical analysis and making the selection based on a good economical analysis, it will make a good execution for the project or the task. Okay, I'm expecting you as a IE students or a EE or any field of engineering students, I'm expecting to see, inshallah, if I'm attending your capstone design project presentation, I'm expecting to see your implementation of the engineering economy in your capstone design project when you compare. This is why it's important for engineers, the engineering economy. Okay, moving to slide 2. Okay, why is not moving here? Fine. أعيد آخر نص دقيقة. طيب ما هو يبدو فيه there is an issue with the طيب where it was stopped exactly so I can repeat. You hear that I'm expecting that you use the IE to the engineering economy in the capstone design project. If I'm your advisor, if I'm attending as a guest in your capstone design project presentation, I'm expecting that you use the engineering economy in your comparing the alternatives of the capstone design project. So in 491, you will be requested to do a literature review and propose a solution model for the problem. In the Okay, the voice now it's clear, right? But it's not, yeah, it's now moving the slides. It stopped for some reason, even is not moving the slides. Okay, the definition of the engineering economy, you don't have to memorize the definition. I will give you a good way to understand the definition in a way that you can solve the questions in the exams and also last with your mind even after you finish this course, because usually the يعني خلينا نقول the theoretical part really don't last يعني longer than the semester. If I come next semester and I ask you about the definition, yeah, you will forget that. But inshallah today we have to focus together on the functions that needed for the engineering economy, which is the three functions: the formulating, the estimating, and the evaluating of the outcomes. What is the formulating means, and what is estimating, and what is evaluating? Formulating is the mathematical formulation that we are going to learn inshallah soon in this chapter and also in the coming chapters. Estimating, what does estimating mean? أنا أتوقع أنكم أنتوا you know what does estimating. نسمع. نعم، تقريب أو تقدير، الأفضل تقدير. yes، تقدر values لل variables. evaluating تقييم، اللي هو after you do the formulation and you do the estimation for those factors, you get the answer and then you make the evaluation or make the decision eventually. Okay?
هذه دكتورة الأشياء اللي حندرس عنها اليوم ولا؟ السلام عليكم، معليش.
Time value of money. تفضل. Yes, Ahmed.
دكتور بعد
You can use the
انك
mic
this is
and
3
please
point.
let me know. Yes.
This what will we focus. Yes, doctor. This 3 point. This what will we focus on it in the.
Yeah, in the definition, all what I want from you is to focus on what is the engineering economy is based on. The first definition, it's a collection of mathematical techniques that simplify comparison of alternatives on economic basis. 100%, I guarantee after you finish this course, you will forget all this definition. But when you recall these functions, and I will show you in the practice how you use the formulating and how you do the estimating and how you do the evaluating, this will last and stuck in your mind forever, because you will do it. Actually, each step it worth 1 point usually in a regular problem in the exam. I always, if the problem has a 3 points, let's say, usually I give 1 point for formulating and 1 for estimating and 1 for the last one.
I'm sorry, doctor. So
the
in the exam,
definition,
the question will be.
The exam, what? Yes.
In the exam, so we will focus not about the definition, about the 3 point. That's right. With their examples.
No. Okay. خلينا clarify this. When I talk about the exam, it is different than when I ask you about the definition and ask you about solving a problem. Now we are talking about the theoretical part. My way, I don't like student memorizing definitions. Why? Because after a certain time, they will forget the definition. But when I emphasize on recalling functions, this will kept in your mind for a longer time. So you will not see me asking you a question, what is the definition of engineering economy? But I ask you, the engineering economy, it is based on one of those three functions, or based on three functions. What are they? This is the type of question. I focus on the functions that you are not just going to recall them. In chapter 2, chapter 5, and all the coming chapters, you will do formulating, you will do estimating, you'll do evaluating. But if you look to the first definition, it is kind of statements that it has to be recalled as a paragraph or as a complete statement to be giving the right definition about engineering economy. Because if I say it's a collection of mathematical formula, it is wrong. It is not just formula. It is technique sometimes. That's why techniques is the correct one. So asking these type of questions, it will need from you to recall every certain word that you don't know what is the use for them. But in the definition, the second one, I focus on that because you only have to recall those three functions and you are going to use them. So by the time you will see what does it mean, the formulating, estimating, and evaluating in real, you will practice that. And you will be graded for each step. So you will never forget that. So to conclude, the definition, you don't have to recall the complete definition, but knowing what is the functions needed for engineering economy, those three functions: formulating, estimating, evaluating engineering economy. Okay? عفوا, evaluating economic outcomes. طيب.
Okay, thank you. جزاك الله خير دكتور.
Moving on. طيب. The time value of money. Time value of money, it is a concept that we have talked about from the last lecture. When we say the simple example, ask your grandfathers, your elder generations, about how much they used to spend in their breakfast compared to today. 1 real was enough to get a whole complete, يعني small breakfast, like a sandwich and drink and يعني maybe gum also. Today, the 1 real is not even enough for a soda. Okay, this is what is the time value of money. يعني if I ask you again, I'm not really type of person to يعني emphasizing on the theoretical part that much. Chapter 1, unfortunately, it has many theoretical part, but I'm not really focusing on them that much. But understanding the concept for me is more important than the definition. تفضل صالح.
السلام عليكم دكتور. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you today.
So in the exam, I don't have to answer like the specific answer from the chapter. Only the concept or the main concept is enough, right?
Yes, and usually the theoretical part questions, if it's online exam, يعني it will not need from you to type a whole definition. Write either, even if you write your concept correct, I don't considering that is a يعني it has to be matching exactly word by word.
So I answer
the
from
textbook.
my understanding. Yes. It's like answering from
exactly, but your understanding has to be correct. Okay.
Yeah.
To clarify
of
that
course.
also. يعني
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, for me, understanding the concept is better than يعني if there is a memory in your mind to kept phrases as is, يعني use it for Quran and memorize Quran. Other than that, try to understand better than memorizing. Okay. The change in the amount of money over given time, يعني معناها تغير في القيمة المالية مع الوقت. Is exactly that the example about the elder generation, how they used to use their money compared to today. The interest. interest طبعا interest as a phrase, if you go and find the definition of interest, it has different meaning, but in the economy here we focus on this definition. And again, as we applied before, what is interest? Before we go to the definition, look to the definition and give me your understanding. Now فين صالح ولا هو مين اللي كان دوبه? Read the definition, give me your understanding to see. Okay. الربح. Okay. مكسب، فائدة، ممتاز، جميل. طيب, this is a question now. What is the difference? Now you see the title says interest rate and rate of return. What is the difference between them? عادي يعني, there is not right or wrong يعني هنا for a discussion. What is the difference between interest rate and rate of return? When I ask about interest, فارس قال لي الربح، ومشعل قال لي المكسب، وزياد قال لي الفائدة. فيصل said العائد، ومعاذ said الفائدة again. So this is interest. What about rate of return? What is the difference between them? تفضل يا معاذ.
Doctor, I think rate of return is the money you get after the investment is working. I think so.
And interest? تعال.
Mostly in debt. If you are taking money from someone.
In what?
In debt. If you are
in debt,
loaning money or taking money from someone.
If I'm loaning money, so it is interest rate. And the rate of return, if it's working, you say?
The rate of return is the benefit you get when the project is working or the money is starting.
Okay. Seems يعني, okay, you did some good guessing. You are very close. Just need more elaboration. I'm seeing your also the other students in the chat box. المكسب والمرجع من المكسب، مبلغ الفايل. لا بس معاذ was very close. I will explain it. In the interest rate, you are the one who are charged to pay. In the rate of return, are the one gaining from the profit. So they are not different as a value, numerical value. يعني numerical calculation, they are the same. The mathematical formulation, remember, formulating, estimating, evaluating. The way is the same, identically. It is different only if it was you have a loan or you have a business or investment. إيش يعني؟ Loan قرض. When you take a loan from the bank, who is paying the interest, you or the bank? You. أحسنت. So it is interest عليك أنت. Who is benefiting from that loan, you or the bank? Benefiting in a meaning that في العوائد, the bank. So it is rate of return to the bank. لأنه عوائد للبنك. Interest rate فائدة عليك أنت. Vice versa. بالعكس تماما. If you are having stocks أسهم. تمام? Stock market shares. The stock market share has a rate of return to you and interest rate to the company that you have purchased that stocks، لانك انت كانك اعطيتهم سيوله لهم هذه الكمباني، فهي تعتبر كانك you gave them a loan، but ما هو لون طبعا يعني. اوكي. losing money from me. شوف كلمة losing يعني خلينا نكون شوية واضحين. انت you got a loan، فما هو losing، انت يعني اخذت من البنك مبلغ، لكن it's الفائدة in this case it is paid is not gained، it is paid، فهي تدفع وليس lose، لأنه lose يعني فيها شوية كده هنا في economy you have to be sensitive with these wordings. Profit and loss will come later، لكن if you meaning this concept you are paying this interest، you are not the one earning that interest. yeah it is correct. يعني زيادة لك أو عليك. أحسنت، حلو الاختصار هذا. الزيادة مش الزيادة، خلينا نقول فائدة. نعم هي لك interest rate. عفوا لك معناها rate of return، عليك هي interest rate. اوكي clear. تمويل يعني التمويل loan is the same، قرض. تروح تشتري سيارة نظام تأجيري it is loan، they call it leasing. leasing هو برضو نفس الكونسيبت. تفضل صالح.
بروفيسور معلش، interest rate هذه لك أو العكس؟ لا
No, we said interest rate means that you are the one paying, you are not gaining. Rate of return you are the one gaining and someone else is paying. حلو هذه كده، ارجعوا لها، هي recorded this lecture فهي explain this. okay خلاص السنتنس هذه and this picture will explain it clearly. if you are the person type of person that learn from visual pictures، هذه visual picture shows you that the interest paid. شوف اللون، القرض جاي من البنك للبيرسون والبيمنت رايح من البيرسون للبنك. في الانترست ايرند اللي هو ريت اوف ريتيرن اللي مكتوب بالازرق، اللون اللي هو المساهمة او الانفستمنت جاي منك انت للشركة، والشركة is paying the interest. okay طيب moving forward with the interest rate and rate of return. Interest rate it is the amount of interest accrued over the original amount. تفضل عبد الله، سؤال ولا ايش؟
دكتور، هل يمكن أن يكون الريت اوف ريتن يكون بالسالب؟
Yes, yeah, it is rate. It can be.
Thanks.
Yes. إذا كانت طبعا يعني هي خسائر، لكن يعني في الغالب when you sign the contract it is not. لكن it can be company if it's losing، عندك أسهم في شركة وخسرت went bankruptcy، فخلاص rate of return صار ما في بالسالب، اللي هو almost يعني خلاص زيرو، ما عندهم شيء يرجعوا لك. أنت you got a loan you are not affording to pay anymore، خلاص ال interest rate is not applied، بياخذوا سيارتك ويشيلوها منك. ال interest accrued per time unit over the original amount، this is multiplied with 100. يعني basically كم الربح، يعني if we said ال 100 الانترست 10%، ال 10% over the 100 اللي هي ايش؟ 110 حتصير. ال 10 هذا الاماونت over the original اللي هو ال 100 multiplied with 100 gives you the interest rate. يعني هذه خلينا نقول متوسطة، ما يحتاج انه نشرحها. As you can see the interest rate and rate of return they have the same formulation and they calculate it in the same manner. It is only different that if you are paying or you are gaining. An employee in a company borrows طبعا يعني you have to get familiar with these words borrows loans لأن it will be repeated often. يعني borrows استلف $10,000 on May 1st and have to pay it back year later, 1 year later, 10,700. What is the interest amount and what is the interest rate paid? شوفوا, distinguish between interest amount and interest rate paid. في فرق بينهم. amount هو القدر الربح اللي حصله في السلفة هذه الشركة. interest rate paid, rate, what does it mean? معدل وليس مبلغ. فتكتب لي دولار جنبها يعني أعلقك. في فرق بين interest amount مبلغ بين interest rate معدل. okay, distinguish between these words. how you calculate the interest amount هو 10,000 ورجعها 10,700 فيعني obviously it's 700. yes يا أخ ناصر, هنا we are discussing الانترست as فوائد وليس ك يعني خلينا نقول تعاملات فقهية. انت دحين لو رحت اخذت القرض من البنك او اشتريت سيارة بنظام تأجيري, you are going to pay that anyway. if you purchase stocks أسهم, you are getting interest or rate of return anyway. فأنا I'm not here to discuss هذا من ناحية الموضوع الديني, لأنه أنا لست مؤهل ولا مختص والنقاش فيه يطول هنا. لكن this is what is in life. يعني أنا ما explaining something in different world. روح للراجحي اللي بتاخذ منه المكافأة حقتك بعد ما تتخرج, يقول له أنا بشتري سيارة عن طريقكم أو بشتري, وبيقول لك مرابحة إسلامية ولا whatever is that name. at the end you are not paying the exact original amount. في بيكون نسبة في الآخر, فهي موجودة في البنوك هنا وموجودة في البنوك حتى اللي هي under the name or the titled Islamic banks. how they do it, مرابحة, شراء, whatever is that, هذا away from that discussion. أنا here explaining this is how the mathematical happens in real life. فأنت you be aware when that percentages applied to your loan. تفضل صالح.
دكتور, النسبة هل تعتبر حرام صح؟
مو هو نفس الإجابة, أنا دوبي جاوبت نفس الموضوع. الحلال والحرام أنا مو هنا اللي أشرحه, تروحوا محاضرة الثقافة الإسلامية تسألون. لكن لو رحت بنك Islamic, they will give you loans. You are not returning the exact amount as is. You will pay an extra. That extra, I'm explaining here how it's been calculated. Clear? Yes.
تمام.
حتى لو اشتريت أسهم by the way, يعني روح اشتري أسهم موجودة في كل, إذا عندك محفظة تقدر تشتري أسهم لها عوائد. العوائد هذه percentages. فأنا I'm here explaining how these been translated into value. لكن الموضوع ده خارج عن النطاق اللي أنا أتكلم فيه. الانترست amount هذا اللي احنا تكلمنا عنه. الانترست ريت اللي هو المعدل هو الاماونت اللي هو 700 over the original كم كان 10,000. ف 700 divided by 10,000 multiplied with the 100, it's a 7%. That will be the rate. So the rate, it is معدل وليس value of dollar. Okay. If you go and purchase a car, the car that worth 70,000 ريال, and you ask for the leasing اللي هو النظام التأجيري, they will give you 5 years insurance, and you will pay installments, let's say 1,300 ريال every month, صح? For 5 years. Add those 60 months. If you do the 5-year plan, it is about 60 months. The 1,300 you pay every month, multiplied with the 60, or whatever was the installment, you will find it's more than the original price of that car. This is exactly what we are doing here. So that extra, how it was calculated? It was calculated based on that the value of money is different today than now, and after years, 5 years ago. هو أعطاك 75,000 the original amount of that car today, not 5 years ago, 5 years later. But he is calculating the value of money is changing over the 5 years. That's why he applied that interest rate. كمية الربح هي معادلة الطرح هذه. نعم. يس. كمية الربح. يس. يعني أخذت 10,000 ورجعت 10,700 ما يحتاج له معادلة. يعني this is doesn't need any equation. ف different sum أهو موجودة حتى هنا مكتوبة ال equivalence. The value of money today is different 1 year later. So today the 100, considering that the value of the money changed by 6%, it doesn't change that much by 1 year. Some countries maybe it happens like it went يعني خلينا نقول in a really bad economical situation, it could really drop down the value of their currency. لكن there is a change in currency over years, and there is authentic organizations that announce that change over the time. So if considering that it's a 6%, so today's 100 is 106 year from now. طيب, if you allow me, just give me 5 minutes because I have an urgent meeting for my son's school, and I will make sure just he's attending that, and if everything is needed from me that to be there, I will maybe continue the lecture on only for today because of due to the situation. Just I will pause the mic, and if I will need more time, I will come back to you and explain to you what is the next. Okay, طيب, my students, my dear students, I apologize. I have to be in the meeting with my son only for today. And inshallah, we will continue on Wednesday with chapter 1. Please read the previous material that we have just covered and read the coming 15 slides, and I will inshallah explain starting from this example. I apologize for that, but it's something that out of my control due to the current situation. I wish you all the best, and inshallah I will see you on Wednesday.